Hello and welcome to Grimwolf Workshop. Today I'll be showing how to do basic zenithal highlighting for beginners. Start off by basing in any suitable acrylic black matte primer, then mid-dark grey, followed by a pure white. Zenith in this context means the high point above the miniature where we imagine the light source to be coming from. An easy one to start with is from the front of the miniature and slightly above and to the right, although you could choose any direction as long as you're consistent after you've chosen. Now I'm going to start by creating the first layers with that grey. These are going to form the mid-tones. Keep the direction that you're applying the paint as consistent as possible. It doesn't really matter whether you're using an airbrush or a sponge or even a brush, as long as you maintain this throughout the application of the paint. Of course, the advantage of the airbrush is that if you keep it at a slight angle, you'll be able to catch all the nice details of those lovely bones and rib cages and chitin and things like that. And of course the application is smooth. And if we just turn him upside down, we'll be able to see that the shadows are still black underneath. An effective method I've found with the first layer of the mid-tones is to keep the direction of the flow of the paint the same and actually tilt the miniature slightly over, and it'll catch a little bit more of the other side as if the light's coming ever so slightly above, as well as the direction that you've chosen. Specifically, you can see here more consistent on one side but more prominent on the right, and we've deliberately caught a little bit of that back left leg. Time for the final piece of the puzzle. It's pure white, and we're really going to focus on more on that particular direction. We're covering much less of the miniature and we'll probably not get much, if anything, of this back area, including that leg and the left arm. We're going to be very strict with where we allow the paint to fall. We'll start with a nice smooth layer, aiming for exactly where we know the high point of the light is going to catch, front and right and slightly above as before. Concentrate on those areas and let more of the paint creeps slowly round the back of the miniature, exactly the same way that light from any natural source would, or unnatural as the case may be, whether it'd be a street lamp or the sun or some form of light on a spaceship, which is rather apt seeing as this is supposed to be a gene stealer and he should really be crawling through dimly lit corridors. Feel free to use your imagination, it's partly what this hobby's all about. We're coming to the final steps now, and if we have a look, you should see that the effect we've gone for has been quite well achieved. By just turning the miniature over, you can see that the points on the ends of his extremities, like his claws and his hand and the side of his head, are nice and bright, and the arms have actually blocked some of that paint from hitting the limbs behind it, so they've stayed darker to create the shadow effect. And then if you turn him round the other way, you can see that he's actually quite dark on the other side. Now it's totally up to you how far you take this effect. If you want him to be brighter, then you simply use more mid-tones and more white. If you want him to be darker, you leave him more or less the same way I have here. If you found this useful, give me a shout in the comments, and along with anything else you'd like me to cover. And please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thank you very much.